Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLuca. Thanks so much for being here Wednesday, August 13th. Jaguars have the day off before they have what Liam Cohen called a scrimmage practice tomorrow. So they're going to be getting after it. Have not decided yet whether or not they will have starters playing this weekend in New Orleans against the Saints. But right now we're going to take a look at some back of the Jaguars roster competitions. We're going to go throughout the roster, and I'm going to kind of offer my thoughts on where some different positions are at the back of the roster. Most of the top of the roster is pretty much set. I mean, I don't think you have any real questions in the Jaguars starting lineup right now. Quite honestly, I don't. You look at the offensive line, I think it's locked in. You look at receiver, I think it's locked in. You look at running back, yeah, you could say Travis Etienne or Tank Bigsby. Maybe some of y'all, like me, think Bashal Tutin should be getting just as much, if not more work than those guys. But you kind of know that you have three at the top, and then LeQuint Allen is probably someone who will be a pass down type of guy early on. I think at tight end, it's pretty locked in with Brenton Strange as your top tight end. Quarterback, obviously. And then you look at the defensive front. I mean, Devon Hamilton's your nose tackle. Eric Armstead, if he gets healthy, will certainly be your other defensive tackle. Right now, it's Tyler Lacey. Your defensive end starters are locked in. Two deep is locked in. Foye Luke and Devin Lloyd starters at linebacker, Yasir Abdullah, Dennis Gardeck. I guess that's one area where you could say maybe there's a competition at the top of the roster. Yasir Abdullah, Dennis Gardeck for like your Sam, but that's not even a starting position in my mind. Really, nickel has replaced the Sam linebacker in NFL starting lineups. Tyson Campbell, Jordan Lewis. I guess you could say there's a battle between Jarian and Travis Hunter on the outside right now while Buster Brown is down. Eric Murray, Andrew Wingard locked in my opinion. Now, the depth chart does say Eric Murray or Darnell Savage, Andrew Wingard or Antonio Johnson, but I think it's been pretty clear who the starters are there. So that, again, leads us to the back of the roster. We're going to dive into it. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. So back of the roster, what is intriguing to me? Back of the offensive line, I think, is pretty intriguing. I think that there's 7 players locked in. I think that there would be 8 players locked in had Cole Van Lanen not sustained an injury that's going to keep him out for the remainder of camp. So I don't know if he's going to be on the active roster when they cut down to 53 because he might be placed on the reserve/pup list or something else, right? So looking at the offensive line again, I think you have your 5 starters. You have Wyatt Milam. You have Chuma Edoga. I think they are locked in. Who else is going to have an advantage trying to make this roster? How many offensive linemen are they going to keep? Because with McCary, Milam, and Edoga, you have a lot of versatility there. You really do. And even Ezra Cleveland has played tackle in his career. Walker Little has played guard at times. So, there's a lot of versatility here. Edoga can play guard tackle. Milam should be able to play guard tackle. McCary can play every single position. Is Jonah Monheim, who was a draft pick by this regime, a lock? I think he's probably going to make the roster. I think he's a very good developmental center who they don't want to risk losing. Somebody who they really like. They like his athleticism. He did not perform well at guard, in my opinion, on Saturday night against the Steelers, but then they put him in at center late, and he looked a lot better. So I think he'll be in. Those are 8 guys. 9 if you include Cole Van Lanen, where I think that's pretty locked up. But because of Cole Van Lanen's injury, and you look at the depth chart, Luke Fortner is ahead of Jonah Monheim. So that's something to keep in mind. But I think Luke Fortner is definitely on the roster bubble. I think Fred Johnson, I don't have him making the team right now, even though he was somebody who the Jaguars brought in to compete and push, and I just don't think that that's been the case with Fred Johnson. He's been really undisciplined when it comes to false starts. You're seeing that consistently, and I know the Jaguars coaching staff can't stand that. You've got Javon Foster, who was a 4th-round pick last year, some other undrafted guys. Those are basically the people competing for roster spots here. Sal Wormley, Ricky Lee, who's from Jacksonville, Tremaine Ankrum. I don't see anybody. I don't see Ricky Lee, Sal Wormley, Tremaine Ankrum, Javon Foster making the team. I think that's a long shot for sure. So again, I think that there's pretty much like 8 guys locked in. If you included Cole Van Lanen, that would be 9. But I think that he's more than likely probably a reserve/pup list candidate to start the season, which would keep him out the first 4 weeks. That's where I'm at with the offensive line. I think safety is fascinating. Goodness gracious, because we've talked about this a lot. I don't think they have 2 high quality, like plus starting safeties, but they do have a lot of capable safeties. Eric Murray, Andrew Wingard on the team, right? Caleb Ransaw is dealing with a little bit of an injury. He's week to week. Hopefully he can get back before the end of the preseason. It'd be cool if he was able to play in a preseason game. You have Savage, Antonio Johnson, Daniel Thomas, Rayon Lane. You also have Cameron Silman Craig. He's not going to make the team. But Rayon Lane and Caleb Ransaw were both draft picks. You have to assume if they're healthy that they're on the team. And Rayon Lane is a great special teams player. He's proven that in practice. He's proven that throughout his college career. He went and did it in the game as well against the Steelers. Daniel Thomas is a great special teams player as well. I'm feeling like he's going to be an odd man out. But even with Daniel Thomas not making the team, and I love Daniel Thomas, I would hate to see that. You have Murray, Wingard, Savage, Johnson, Ransaw, Lane. That's 6 safeties. Are you going to keep 6 safeties? I know Savage has versatility to play nickel, to play safety. Antonio Johnson's a great special teams player. I don't know what you do here. I just can't see keeping 6 safeties. I think it's going to be 5. Do you cut Darnell? Do you cut Antonio? I mean, you drafted 2 safeties for a reason. I don't think you're going to try to stash Rayon Lane. He's a great special teams player. That's a confusing one for me. Back of the roster is very confusing at safety for me. Just an interesting position in general. Their whole plan at safety was, I think if you sign Eric Murray and you get Caleb Ransaw in here and he's able to kind of take over early on in his rookie year, that's a good plan. I would have liked to see them pursue a higher-end veteran safety. I've talked about that a lot. That's just me. So back of the roster at safety, definitely fascinating. There's going to be some name recognition that gets cut, it looks like. At Sam linebacker, as we mentioned, right now you have Yasir Abdullah or Dennis Gardeck as the starters. The only other candidate there really is Jalen McLeod. The Sam here is really an edge off-ball linebacker hybrid type of position. Yasir Abdullah played really, really well against the Steelers. Dennis Gardeck has not gotten that game action yet. Jalen McLeod is dealing with an injury. So Jalen McLeod was a rookie draft pick. Maybe he gets put on the reserve/pup list, and you have Yasir Abdullah and Dennis Gardeck are able to make the team. And then Yasir maybe reverts to the practice squad or something when McLeod gets healthy. I don't know how that'll play out, but really this is an interesting spot. I think Gardeck, when he gets fully healthy, that spot is his to start the season. And then how does it kind of play out with Abdullah and McLeod is really my question. I don't think they're going to keep 3 guys there. I think they'll keep 2. Cornerback, you've got Tyson Campbell, who is day-to-day right now, but I don't think he's at risk of, not being ready for the start of the season. Jordan Lewis, Jarian Jones, Travis Hunter. Those guys are all obviously on the team. That's 4. Monteric Buster Brown would obviously be on the team as well if he was healthy. He's missing all of training camp. He might be a reserve/pup list guy to start the season. So that puts some questions around the cornerback spot. I think Christian Braswell I would put on the roster right now, the way he's been playing. Maybe Jabbar Muhammad. as a nickel. It's going to be interesting. Zechariah McPherson has made a lot of plays, but he's a little bit older for a back of the roster type of guy. But I mean, if he can get the job done for you, yes. DeAndre Prince is competing, somebody who was a draft pick last year, very athletic player. So I'm really looking at, like, again, if Monteric Brown is healthy, then you have 5 that are locked in. And then you probably keep one more, which would be Christian Braswell. But if Monteric Brown isn't healthy to start the season, then who else is making it besides Braswell? That's my question. You've got DeAndre Prince, Jabbar Muhammad, Zechariah McPherson, Danico Slaughter, Aiden White. Lately, Jabbar Muhammad has come on really strong. McPherson has been pretty consistent throughout camp making plays. Danico Slaughter has made some plays throughout camp as well. DeAndre Prince probably has more upside because of his athleticism than some of those other guys, but he hasn't played as consistently. You look at wide receiver. How many do they keep? I feel like there's 5 guys locked in right now. No, not the burger chain. 5 wide receivers locked in. Travis Hunter, Parker Washington, Brian Thomas Jr., De'Ami Brown, Joshua Cephas. And then there's a lot of other guys who have made a lot of plays and are very interesting. I know I've said interesting a lot in this show. I apologize. But that's where we're at. I mean, I do think that this is a very, we'll change the word to intriguing, right? Back of the roster. Trenton Irwin and Austin Trammell both have a lot of experience in the league. Trenton Irwin has the most out of all these guys competing for the back. Do you keep 5? Do you keep 6? I think I'm leaning towards 5, but 6 is the more common number. You have Dorian Singer, who's a young undrafted free agent out of Utah, smaller, athletic, quick twitch, gets open well, can catch and run. You saw that against the Steelers. I like his game a lot. I like Eli Pankall. He's big, he's physical, he's fast, he's got a lot of energy out of Duke. The one comment we've heard from Liam Cohen about him is that, you know, he is working hard. They like the work he's doing, but he wants to see more fluidity out of him as a receiver. You've seen Cam Camper is a big body who's not the fastest guy out there, but can definitely make some big-time contested catches, present a big target for a quarterback. Darius Lassiter has made plays here and there, but hasn't stood out a ton. Chandler Brayboy is a burner. He's a fast guy. He's had a couple drops you don't like to see, but he's done some nice things on special teams and showed out at times, really shown off his wheels. So that's a lot of guys competing for, I think, one spot. Joshua Cephas got to be on this team. Obviously, Parker Washington got to be on this team. You have your top 3 in BTJ, De'Ami, Travis. So that's where I'm at with the receivers. And finally, we can look at edge. I know, like, Jalen McLeod, Dennis Gardeck, like pseudo edge, off-ball linebackers, but so I have 4 players locked in with Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, Dewan Smoot, Emmanuel Ogba. A couple guys to keep an eye on. Danny Strigow really balled out during the preseason game. He's a high effort, high energy type of guy. Not the best athlete, but he has power, he has effort, strain, all that stuff that they're looking for, and he can make plays. BJ Green has made plays as well. Both of these guys made plays in the game and have made plays in practice. So those are the 2 I'm keeping an eye on to potentially make this roster at edge, at the back end. I don't think Miles Cole is going to make it. I don't think Ethan Downs is going to make it. I'd be looking at Danny Strigow as the most likely. But BJ Green is competitive and athletic and big and physical as well. So that'll do it here. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content here, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.